So, in this lesson, we are going to talk about this snowball method of eliminating your debt. So, what would it be like if you didn't have a single debt payment in the world? Like, is that a reality for you? Is that something you would feel comfortable with? Is it something that you think is possible? I mean, it sounds pretty nice, doesn't it? If you had an extra $100 a month, or $300 a month, or $500 a month, or whatever, like let's say you had that extra $500 a week after freeing up some of your debt, what would it be like for you? What would change in your life? That's why we're going to work on the snowball effect. So, how do you make this a reality? It's called a debt snowball. When you have a snowball, like it starts out small, right? And you roll it and you roll it and you roll it in the snow and it gets bigger. Now, this is kind of what's happening with the world and their debt. Their debt started out small and over time it accumulates and gets bigger. Well, we're going to take the debt and bring it down with the snowball effect. So don't freak out. It's a pretty easy process and I'm going to walk you through all of it. So here's the deal. Like you're going to follow a plan for paying off your debt once and for all. You're going to learn this plan and you're going to take control of your money instead of watching your hard-earned cash disappear month after month. You're going to stop running out of month before you run out of money. You're going to understand the process of this and you're going to win the war on debt. You're going to pay it down. And however long it takes, that's what this is about. It's however long it takes. This may not be an overnight thing to pay it off, depending upon how much debt you've got, but it will happen. So what is a snowball method, right? I've already said, like, we start small, we roll it up, we whip that snowball at someone, and it's fun, right? So the snowball method is where you start paying off your debt with the smallest debt. I know it sounds like it. I thought we were supposed to pay the one with the highest interest. You're going to start with the smallest debt and work your way to the largest. So here's what I want you to do. List all of your debts. I know this has been an activity. You're going to pull all your debt together. Some of you may have a lot, and some of you may not have a whole lot. But remember, it's about freeing up some money. And the only way that you can free it up to start paying that debt off is taking that smallest debt to the largest. So let's get that snowball rolling. So here's step number one. You're going to list all your debts from smallest to biggest. So let's say you've got a dentist bill and you only owe $50 on it. And sometimes the dentist doesn't really have a minimum payment, but like if you're budgeting, your minimum payment is $10. Now we're going to go Home Depot, Visa, student loans. One thing I don't want you to worry about right now is your house payment. Like that's not something we're going to worry about right now. This is credit cards, student loans, car payments, medical bills, those kind of things you don't need in your life. So we're going to work on getting rid of them. So let's just say we've got a dentist bill. We owe $50 on it. We're going to pay $10 a month. That's normally what we pay. And Home Depot, we still owe them $450 for that patio set that we had to get. So the minimum payment is $40. And then we have the Visa because we went to, Maui, and we have $750 left on that. And that minimum payment is $50. So that's what you want to do. You want to figure out what all of your bills are, what all of your debt is right now, what the total payoff is, and what you're making right now as a minimum payment. And if it's $5, it's $5. If it's $100, it's $100. Your minimum payment is your minimum payment. And right now, it's kind of what you can afford. That's why you're working on getting rid of these. So you're making minimum payments on all the debts except the smallest. So let's say, you worked overtime or you have an extra $5 or whatever it is. You're going to take, if it's $10, if it's $15, you're going to pay off that dentist bill. Like maybe you can pay it off in one payment of $50. Or maybe if you really work hard and don't go out to dinner one night for 2-3 weeks, you can pay it off in 2 payments. So now you've got that $10 that you were used to paying the dentist bill with. So what do you do with it? Put it towards your Home Depot minimum payment, which then makes the Home Depot payment $50 a month. Because seriously, you guys, it is that easy. So you pay the $50, right? You were already paying the $10. And what we do is then we think that we're $10 richer every month and we're still in debt. So why not take that $10, put it towards Home Depot, make Home Depot's minimum payment $50, continue with the rest of your minimum payments on the rest of your debt, and we're going to snowball it, right? We started small. Now we're making a $50 payment on Home Depot. We can pay that off pretty quick, right? Just by adding that. So right now, remember, you are living like no one else is living, so you can have a future like nobody else has, because debt sucks and it can totally stress you out and take control of you. So this snowball effect is going to help you. So once the debt's gone, right, from that first one, you take that payment and apply it to the next smallest debt, just like I said, while continuing to make payments on the rest. See, and you can still sleep at night, right? So here, step number 2, right? Well, step number 3, this is really. Repeat this method as you plow your way through the debt. You get it, plow, we're talking about snow, I got it. It's just a joke there. So the dentist bill is gone now, right? And maybe we paid the dentist bill off in a month. Maybe we paid it off in like 3 weeks, whatever it is. So that's gone, gone. So you are starting to pay debt off. Pat yourself on the back. Home Depot, I've paid this off in, 7-8 months. Okay. So then I take that where I was paying $50 and I apply it to the $50 I was already paying for my Visa. And now I'm paying $100 as a minimum payment on the Visa. So if you realize this over time, once you get to a certain point, we're actually going to say, this is the time frame that I want to pay this all off. So it's all math. There's calculators out there. It's great, right? So maybe you've got a student loan or something after your Visa. So you've been paying $100 now, and all you have left is Visa and student loan. When Visa's paid off, you can pay off the student loan with an extra $100. And then you set a time frame. Like maybe you want to set a time frame of how long it's going to take you to pay everything off, which that's like a huge chunk for some people. So we break it down into small. So we'll take just a few at a time and figure out how are we going to pay this off? Because the more you pay off, the more you have freed up money, right? And it grows like a snowball rolling down the hill. And at the end of this, that money that you were using to pay off your debt is going to be left over. When your smallest debt is paid in full, you roll the money where you were paying on the debt into the next smallest balance. So it's just like a snowball effect, and you continue this process until your debt has been paid in full. That will be a huge weight off of your shoulders. You will be so surprised. You will be so excited and so proud that you were able to do it, because all this time we've been stressing, we've been freaking out, we've been not knowing what's going to happen at the end of the week and how we're going to make these bills and how we're going to put food on the table. That stress will be gone. So we're going to continue on working on this. Don't worry about it. If you need to rewatch this video again, go ahead. Don't freak out about it. I'm going to walk you through it. We're going to set some time frames. We're going to do the math and figure out how long it would take to pay this off, because everybody's debt is different. Like maybe your smallest debt has a minimum payment of $200 and you're barely making that. So let's figure out how we can make that $200 payment without stressing, without freaking out. So just remember, this is a process. You're making the right decisions, and we will get there together. So if you guys have any questions or comments, make sure that you message me or comment, and we will get you headed in the right direction.